Good evening. This is the Four Valley Boys podcast. I am your host and moderator, Fabian Vixen. On this episode on Wednesday, we're going to be recapping the NBA Finals so far. We have a Game 6 tomorrow night. Halliburton might not be playing tomorrow night. If I was Carl, I wouldn't play him, but we'll get to that in a minute. We're also going to talk about the Desmond Bain trade for Atlanta Magic. We also might delve into the Lakers being sold today, $10 billion. That's a lot of money. Um, Also, the hottest segment on television, true or false, and of course, we're going to do a tribute uh, to Fort Valley icons in their own right. Um, that passed away over the weekend. It's part of the show. I said, let's go. Hey, yeah. Hey, yeah. Boys. Yeah. Hold on. We them boys. Hold on. We them boys. And this is the Fort Valley Boys podcast. I have a lot of sponsors uh, to go over, so we're going to start with our most fun sponsor, Crazy Straws. If you're crazy and you have straws, it's Crazy Straws. If you have a favorite team, they'll go ahead and get your team colors for your sports games, for events, all that type of stuff. Um, I'm distracted because of Chris. So it's my guy, Chris and Dr. Simmons. Um, yeah, this tough doing the show. Two icons dying like that. Um, yeah. Our shows on Sundays and Wednesdays. Sundays and Wednesday. 9 o'clock. Just for men. You got gray in your beard. You sick of that gray? Get Just for men. Dax Wave and Groom. Mike had waves for the last 30 years. Still has them. $5 can at Dollar General.
Hey, are you single? I'm a matchmaker.
Daniel's podcast, Chop It Up. Check him out. Arizona tea. 99 cents in the store. If you drink it, you have diabetes in 25 seconds. Follow us, of course, follow us on YouTube and Facebook. BuyANiceShirt.com. Bernard Ingram. Fort Valley. Born and raised, went to Fort Valley. And is a member of Kappa Alpha Psi, has his own site for paraphernalia for that stuff. So,
all right, let's zip through it, Fate. It don't look like it's just me and you. Then knock it down, bro.
Yeah, I'm trying to see why it's not letting me go public on this post, but it's keeping it private. So I don't know why, but might have everybody used the Fort Valley Boys page. I wanted to start the show off with we have two icons that passed over the weekend in their own right. Dr. Simmons is, if we say Fort Valley, you don't think of Rayfield Wright or Greg Lloyd, Pepe Zellner. You think of Dr. Simmons, because every time you see that short little lady, she either gonna be wearing blue or gold or pink and green. She's the epitome of Wildcat pride. Don't have the details of her death. I just know she's dead. That's all that matters. We don't need the full details of what, when, where, and what happened or whatnot. She's gone. She's passed on. Mike, can you give us some quick thoughts on your encounters with Dr. Simmons?
Man, Dr. Simmons, like you just said, Fade. So I mean, so perfect too. She was the epitome of Fort Valley State College, University. It didn't matter if it was homecoming, it was just a regular game. Dr. Simmons was always a vibrant, uh, just a person that bled blue and gold at Fort Valley. And I saw her, homecoming, saw her before, and she still know me by name. We still talk, we still laugh and cut it up. But like when you think of Fort Valley, man, Dr. Simmons, like she is for our era of the '90s. She is one of those 15 or 20 people that you just can't forget, or she's one of these people that you definitely gonna remember. Out of all the people that was RAs, administration, whatever the case may be, you remember Miss Simmons. So, man, my condolences go out to the family. I know the funeral, I think it's set for Friday in Mississippi. Um, she's going back to Mississippi, and she loved the people out there in Mississippi as well. So, man, she truly be missed, man. If they don't get some kind of statue, plaque, or something up representing Dr. Romello Simmons, something is wrong, man. Fort Valley really need to do that. They lost a giant in the Fort Valley State University community. When you think of Fort Valley State, you think of her.
I couldn't agree more. I cannot put it in more better words than what you just did. There's nothing else needs to blow the whistle. The second person, you probably know him. I'm gonna tell a little story I put on Facebook the other day. Chris Williams. He's an icon in the Fort Valley band community because of the style he brought, the style of marching band, the way fanfares are done, the way the band should march, different things as far as band, as far as how you did drill, how you lined up, discipline, that type of stuff. And I met him in '95. I got plenty of stories, but this is the easiest one. I remember one day in '95, I of course I got a this back when you remember this before you go online and do an application to a college. You just did a paper application or you called them, on the phone. So I just happened to call Fort Valley. They said, you got accepted. Like, what? Because quick story, I'm supposed to be at South Carolina State. I had a full band scholarship. When I called them and said I'm ready to come, they told me I was gonna have $750. Like, that's not gonna do anything for me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a year or a semester. My aunt, who was living with us at the time, said, "No, you going to college, you get out this house because you can't be here. Nothing bad. There's too much in you to be here. You stuck in the house." So I applied for it rather than thinking nothing of it. Next thing you know, found out I got accepted. Dad came home for work, found out I got accepted. He said, "Pack your bag." That same day he came home for work, Mike.
For real?
Yeah, no bullshit. You know what he did after I packed the bag? You know what he did about 30 minutes later?
What?
He dropped my ass off at Fort Valley.
Wait a minute, how you drop y'all right when you got accepted? You ain't even moved in yet, did you?
I'm getting to that part. He gave me about $100. He gave about $100 cash and paid for a hotel room. You know, the Valley Inn right there by Burger King there now.
Man,
no lie, no cap. He dropped me off at Fort Valley.
So this is all in the same day.
The same, because he got out work 4 or 5 o'clock. He dropped me out about 7 o'clock that night.
Man, that's crazy, man.
I bullshit you not, Mike. I bullshit you not.
Good
so
gracious.
Hold on, it did get better. It get better.
Oh man.
So he said, "Hey, I don't know what to tell you, but when I come back in 2 days, you need to figure out. You need to have your stuff ready." So I had to find my way to campus. I had to call a taxi everywhere I need to go. So basically, if I go on campus at 10 o'clock, I'm there all day. I'm there all day, Mike.
That's why you used to be in the student center all the time.
At the beginning of the year, till you have my house. Yeah. So I'm on campus. So I found out where the troop building was. I basically found out where everything was at that same day. I sound like, well, I'm playing instrument. I want to see about the marching band. It's HBCU. So I went to the band room, was like, hey, I think about joining the band. Like, hey, what'd you play? Play saxophone. Okay. Come walk with it. Come watch the band practice. So I watched the band practice. And like, so you want to share about this? Let me hear you play. So I played like, oh yeah, you joined today. Like, well, I ain't got no housing, I ain't got no money. Mr. Basket, like, oh yeah, I found some money for you. Of course, next he get about a couple days later he get fired. Fucking students.
Oh
But that's
man,
neither here there. So
what he
anyway,
got fired for? If you don't mind me asking.
I just said fucking students. But
Oh,
anyway,
right. Okay.
like Dr. Headeroo fucking students. So we
Okay.
don't talk about that either. So,
All
so
right.
anyway, when I got to the campus, the first two people I met, well, three. Let me say three. The first three people I met at Fort Valley, Willie Holland, you know Willie.
Yeah, I know Willie. He deep in the band stuff. Yeah.
Ira Howell, you remember tall Ira Howell?
I remember.
A5Q. His A5Q war blaster,
Yeah.
play trombone,
Yep.
and Chris Williams. Those are the three that I met. Those are the first three guys I met when I got to Fort Valley. They took me in. I stayed in jeans. I stayed 2 doors down from Willie. I think Melvin was Willie's roommate, I think, that first year, if I remember correctly. And I think him and Chris might have been roommates. I can't, but they somehow there's some iteration of that. But Chris being from Atlanta, went to Washington, Booker T. Washington. I went to Tri-City. Cool guy. I mean, he was a great friend. I mean, if you never heard Chris could play, and folks didn't realize that, Chris could march. Chris did a lot of stuff. Him and Mark Gill were the drum major everybody remember from our generation. Because they loved it because they did the one drum major entry they did. They jumped over each other and threw the mace up, and I think they want to say Chris caught it. I think it was Chris the one that jumped over Mark. Not that no, it was Mark that jumped over Chris. It's so
I got
long
a
ago.
shirt with Mark. I got a shirt with Mark. When Mark passed, he was jumping over Chris, and man, just I done had some times with Chris. I ain't gonna lie. I can't.
Yeah, I know those times you talk.
But
Yeah,
I had
I know
some
you talking
times
about.
with Chris, man. But one thing Chris and Mark do, man, and rest in peace to both of them do. They, for the people out there that don't really know about the HBCU culture, if you're at some HBCUs, the band members, especially the drum majors, are more popular than the football players or the basketball
Depending
players.
on the school. Depending on the school.
Yeah,
though.
depending on the school. If you're a guy, and back in that time in Fort Valley, if you was a guy that was in the band and could dance, you were the man. Like, it's more people remember dancers and band members than people that's in a fraternity or people that play football or basketball. You were the man at that time. Chris and Mark made me pay attention because for me, playing sports and stuff, I never really paid attention to the band. I was always, if you had time, you didn't pay attention to the band, or you turned the TV away from the band, you just didn't pay attention to the band. Chris and Mark made me pay attention to the band, and I think what made me pay attention to Chris and Mark was the fact that the love and attention that they got from being the drum majors, they were the man, and they put band on notice. They made people stop going to the concession stand to stay there and watch them perform. And them boys put on a show. And then Fabe and Tiffany, all them came behind it, and they just kept it going. And like I said, man, I can't mention a lot of stuff I've done with Chris, but Chris was a guy, man. Chris and Mark stayed together, and it was it was some times in that house. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it right there. It's been some fun times and some interesting times in that house. And man, those dudes will throw some of the best off-campus parties that you've ever seen. Like they lived over by the old Rick Street. I forgot what that Brewster Gym, whatever the name of that gym or whatever the case.
Spruce Street.
Spruce Street Gym or whatever. Like man, Chris is another one of those guys that you remember, especially from my era. So man, we like this. We lost two legends this week. Seriously, we really did.
Yeah, and I just want to take a few minutes out of that because when I found out Dr. Simmons died, I was like, "What?" I just lost. We just lost Chris now. Basically, Chris had a cardiac arrest to a point where he lost the bodily function was fine. His brain function was gone because he had cardiac arrest, had a heart attack a few weeks prior, and lost some of the oxygen, not enough oxygen to get to the brain. So they called it brain dead on Saturday. They pulled the plug Sunday. Not Sims. I just don't. That one shot it right there, and them two right there just suck. And Chris was a real one, man. If you knew Chris, if you hung out with Chris in the band, times were had.
Yeah.
What'd you look at my face?
I wasn't even in the band, and I just hung with everybody. The times I hung with Chris at that house, I tell you,
Times were had.
what a night. And the thing about them times, at his house, I just say he was a very unselfish guy. I would say those words. Very unselfish.
Yeah. Alex Pryor, what up, cuz? Loke.
Alex remember Chris. Alex remember Chris and Dr. Simmons.
One quick story too. One thing about Fort Valley, we didn't have no money back then. You remember that? We didn't have a lot of money. Let's put it like that. We had money, it was gone because we had to pay rent and bills up for 5 months.
Yep.
If you did a haircut, 2 people I know you could go to, Alex and Chris. 2 guys, Alex and Chris.
It's just some people, man. If they just come up with a Hall of Fame with Fort Valley, it's some people that you always gonna remember.
Chris,
and
Dr. Simmons.
Yeah, they them 2 people you gonna always remember. Like you gonna remember them. Anybody that came to school from 90 to 2000 know them 2 people right there.
Yeah.
Like we was that was the golden era of Fort Valley.
Yeah, that's the Hall of Fame era of Fort Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know I'd never be in that Hall of Fame, so I'm just glad I had some friends that's in the Hall of Fame.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Don't say that yet.
I'm glad as friends that's gonna be there. I know I'm just glad to visit and see them in the Hall of Fame. They should do build one like a ring of honor for it.
Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Editor, how about the show?
As Lee Corso would say.
Not so fast, my friend.
America, I can't. That's a Fort Valley secret. America, let me just say
not much of a secret.
Hey, let me just say this, Fort Valley. Let me say this right here. I'm not even gonna go into detail with it. Fabian Vicks had one of the funniest moments in school history, and I'm
gonna say iconic moments.
I'm leaving it at that. Oh man, dude got me crying here, man. Let's go, Fabian.
Okay, let's if you need to know what the story is, meet me at homecoming at the trail.
Man, well, y'all just do not know how funny this dude is, man.
Let's talk about the NBA Finals. Halliburton probably ain't playing. That calf, it sounds like Achilles to me, but I know calf and Achilles are 2 different parts of the body. Jalen Williams dropped 40. Shai Gilgeous has averaged 33 a game. Caruso has making the Lakers look real stupid for letting him go in 2020 after they won the finals. Is this series over, Mike?
Yeah, I think it's going to be over tomorrow, especially if Halliburton not playing. Halliburton not being healthy, Halliburton not playing. Series will be over tomorrow night in Indiana. The series won't be over if their supposed stars step up and give 30. Miles Turner gonna have to play better. Pascal Siakam gonna have a 30, 35-point night. Now, without Halliburton, they got enough bodies that can continue and play. You can pull on T.J. McConnell. You got Benedict Mathurin. You got Shepard. You got guys that can get it done. But Halliburton is kind of the key to that engine, man. If he don't play, I just don't see them winning.
Yeah, Steve A. Smith was saying he's the straw that starts the engine.
Yeah,
But
I just don't
the
see
straw
it,
don't
bro.
start the engine, but that's neither here there. I can see if he's the straw that stirs the drink, but I don't know about a straw
Yeah,
starting the engine. But
yeah,
that,
start that one up.
I don't know that's Anatole frat brother. That's Anatole frat brother.
Yeah, that's it, boy.
That's it, boy. But I'm looking at the Pacers roster. Did you know Ray J plays for the Pacers?
Brandon son, Brandon brother.
No, Brandon brother, Ray J.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Where to go,
Yeah,
Ray J? He
yeah.
damn sure can't sing, so he need to be finding something else to do.
But I'm looking at this roster. The problem with starting TJ McConnell, he's better off the bench. Anatole, not Anatole. Mine say he's still waiting on Halliburton to play. I agree. I'm still waiting on him to play too because if you got 6'5", 6'5", 6'7", 6'7", 6'5", 6'6", 6'5" coming off the bench and starting guarding him, yeah, he ain't getting much. He had a problem with the Thunder for the last 2 years. So, but
Hey, man, Jamon, drop your schedule for Lake Point, bro. I'm supposed to be over there refereeing. I hope I get one of your games.
if I'm not surprised at Halliburton not playing. Oh god, he said Ray J made more threes than Halliburton. I believe it.
Oh man,
That's low, but he not lying. The player that has shot me through this whole series that has not played well, and you said he was the X factor, Mike.
who?
Miles Turner.
He ain't hitting shots. My Turner hasn't been able to hit shots, and what they've done, OKC has adjusted to Miles Turner and that 5-out kind of basketball. See, they have taken Hartstein out the starting lineup, which has
Mm-hmm.
made them go smaller, and that's a better matchup for OKC with Holmgren stepping out on Miles Turner. So it's been more difficult for Turner to get his points and get his shots. If they would have went to that same starting lineup, it may they've been able to make something happen, but it's been more difficult, and it's just going to play right into the hands of OKC going smaller. So I think what has happened, Turner not being able to hit shots has been a problem for the rest of them boys.
Yeah, I think by them going small, I was questioning like, why are you already starting small? You're adjusting to Indiana, which is weird. But at the same time, it makes sense, even though Indiana, don't get me wrong, they fought well. They pushed it to 6. I want to see a 7-game series because people like Kendrick Perkins and Stephen A. Smith are bored. They bored to a point where they're playing solitaire on their phones during the finals game. That's how bored they are. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, Stephen A. Smith was caught playing solitaire during Game 4. Talking about during timeouts, but actually gameplay was going on while he was playing. That's neither here nor there. But yeah, you want us to listen to you as a pundit. You playing solitaire, you get extra money on your PayPal card, dog. That's neither here nor there.
I mean, it's something. I mean, I'm just asking. Is something so wrong with him playing while the game going on? Like, what makes him any different than us sitting there watching the game being on our phone?
Because we're not getting paid $22 million a year to talk about it.
Okay. So you looking at it like when we at the job, we ain't got no business being on our phone when we teaching and counseling.
If I got a break in my job, yeah, I'm be on my phone. He ain't got no break because he's right there. He works 2 hours a day. I'm just saying. My wife had made the same compelling argument. My thing is though, you there at the game while the game's going on. You've been dogging out this whole series the whole time. You said early in the year, I don't want it to be a Cleveland versus OKC final because there's no direct flights to Oklahoma City and this and that, whatever. You made this series about you and how much you're bored with it. That's my thing. That's my only problem with it. But at the same time, you open yourself up to scrutiny because on first take earlier that day, you had your laptop wide open and they
Yeah,
zoomed in on your laptop. Molly tried to tell you to close your laptop. You
yeah.
snapped on her.
He said he wasn't closing his damn laptop. I'm not closing it.
I'm not closing it. I ain't worried about it. Next thing you know, you got solitaire. We just glad it was solitaire on your phone.
Yeah, I'm glad it wasn't done there.
Glad we done know.
Yep,
Okay, Shannon Sharp.
glad it wasn't done there.
But you agree this series pretty much over, right?
It's
I want to go 7, but I doubt it. Oh, Jamar said 12-3 on Friday.
12-3. All right, bet.
What you about to add?
I said Shannon Sharp hadn't been back on that show. Been back
Won't be
on
back to
since
won't be
that
back to about
situation.
August. Won't be back to August.
I'll be back in August. Okay.
He had to he had to cut his tour that starts in July. He had to shut that down. I'm like, so now you ain't going nowhere. Even though you don't want to put yourself in this circumstance.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah, Anatole said Smith a good bro. RQQ. Okay. Is he paper, Anatole? I don't know, might I don't know if I'll find out if he paper. But I'm looking at the roster just in case if Indy have to sit Halliburton, that'd be smart. But you can't guarantee you're gonna win that game. There's some guys on here that have him. You have to start in Nemhard and Neesmith. Ben Shepherd has not been good this series.
You might want to go big and go with Toppin.
Yeah, you have to go with Toppin and Siakam and Turner, or you go Bradley and Turner and Siakam.
Yeah, you might want
And
to
then
go
just stagger minutes that way too. Bradley would miss the first 4 games of the series, but I think he had an ankle sprain from the series with the Knicks because he was their first big off the bench.
Yep, Thomas Bryant been getting some of that clock too.
Yeah, he ain't played. He hasn't played since game 1 and 2, I believe. Which I'm still trying to figure out why he hasn't played because he I mean needs some type of physicality because he's about him and Bradley the same size, same height, same age, everything.
Yep.
Only difference is salary. Yeah, Matherin and Nemhard, they will start. Neesmith will probably have to come off the bench. Matter of fact, I will bring Matherin off the bench. I'll let Nemhard and Neesmith start because I need Nemhard on.
I mean, they've been starting. Just keep the same starting group and bring in what's the name with you? Toppin.
I like Toppin off the bench, but if he had to start, because I mean, yeah, it might not have a choice. Yeah, you're right. Well, it really hurt Jarris Walker hurt his ankle real bad against the Knicks, and he hasn't played not 1 minute in this series.
Yeah, Jarris Walker will be a big help for them too.
Yeah. But yeah, that might be the only move. You just start Toppin. Yeah, I did use physicality and Indiana in the same sense. I did. I think if OKC would have started Holmgren and Hartenstein, I think the series might have been over in 5, but the series could have been over in about 5. But nothing would surprise me about the Pacers. If they win game 6, I would not be surprised they win in 7. But if Halliburton does not play, I don't see it.
It all depends on Halliburton. Yep.
Maybe James Johnson go out there and start fighting folks. Like, oh no.
He might.
That's one person I don't want to get in a fight with. Or I mean,
hey, he like a 6th degree black belt or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, Elton said the Knicks needed the NBA needed the Knicks being in series, but the Knicks didn't want to acquiesce to play their bench. And that's on Thibodeau, which is what got him fired. So
And I'm gonna tell you something else that plays a role into these low ratings too, man. Like, bro, real talk, man, you got so many outlets to watching the basketball game now, bro. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you can watch it on, I think, like FanDuel TV, YouTube TV, and that's a part of it.
ESPN.com,
Yeah, like
Disney
that's a
Plus,
part of it. You can stream it, NBA TV. You can just sit there and watch the highlight. But you know, we're
TikTok.
gonna have to get used to this, Fade. The LeBron, Steph Curry, KD era, it's about to go. This next group right here, this is what we're gonna have to get used to. I guarantee you this. I bet you this. I bet you the NBA Finals got higher ratings in the Midwest, just like last year. The college football
Mm-hmm.
national championship game with Ohio State and Notre Dame. I bet you them ratings were higher in the Midwest,
They were.
higher than the Midwest and anywhere else.
Same thing with Michigan and Washington. Oh, the Pacific Northwest and
Yep.
um yeah, there's nothing else on this series. I'm gonna still watch the game. I'm gonna hope for a game 7, but if Halliburton has a calf injury, I want to know where the strain is at, because if it's near the top of his Achilles, he does not need to play.
No, he need to be sitting out the rest of the season.
Yeah, because you know the same thing gonna happen to KD. Same thing happened to KD.
Yep.
And this is something I saw on a while back too. Before we move on to the Desmond Bain trade, a lot of folks are saying that these players are not wearing high top shoes anymore, which is probably was upticking these Achilles injuries. Do you buy that?
I don't know, cause I mean that's possibly true. Cause you see most of the Achilles injuries these guys got on low tops. Um, but then it's just not. I guess it's just not super fashionable to wear high tops anymore.
I rather prefer a high top because
Yeah,
it
to play
protects my ankle
basketball in it.
easier.
Yep.
It
Yep.
protects my ankle, and that's why if you notice over the last few years, LeBron wearing low cuts, and that year they was the number 2 seed. He sprained his ankle real bad. He had low cuts on. Same thing with
Same.
Dame and all these players wearing low cut shoes. I mean, I get it. I mean, I'd rather wear a high top. Just
Yeah, I don't
better on
understand
my
why they wear
better.
the low top. I ain't figured that out yet.
I don't know. It just I don't know. But either way, we'll watch the game. We'll have you filled in on next Wednesday night. Also the draft. I think it's gonna we're gonna have some fireworks next Wednesday for the
I
draft.
believe it
We'll talk
will.
about that.
I do
Um
believe so.
we had a trade on Sunday morning. Desmond Bain goes to the Orlando Magic for Cole Anthony, KCP, 4 unprotected first round pick, and a trade and a pick swap. Which further let me know if Desmond Bain is going for 5 picks, what y'all are gonna get.
I am 3,000% on board with this trade for Orlando. Just think about this. Pelo, probably about 22, 23. Desmond Bain, 26. Wagner,
Mm-hmm.
he probably about 25. You got Jalen Suggs, he probably about 24. Anthony Black, Wendell Carter. You got a young team. Tell me why I need them draft picks down the line. I'm trying to win now. I ain't thinking about down the line. I'm trying to win now. Desmond Bain can help me get over the hump to win now. And let me tell you something about win now. You got 1 year, Fade. Jason Tatum gonna be out. Giannis
Mm-hmm.
could possibly leave in the East. This Indiana team gonna be around.
Mm-hmm.
According, you don't know what the Knicks gonna do. Philadelphia done kind of fell off. Detroit is emerging. Cleveland is about in the same boat. You got a year to get to that NBA Finals next year. We don't know what Boston gonna do with without Tatum, or they gonna try to break the team up. I got 1 year to make some noise with this squad. I'm going all in. I got 3 or 4 guys on that squad now that can get me 20 easily. Desmond Bain, Banchero, and Wagner. I'm trying to win now. So yeah, I'm gonna give up the future for now.
I get that part. I mean, they were the worst 3-point shooting team in the league last year, 31.8%. They were the worst. Desmond Bane was top 3 in catch and shoot threes at 41%. He shot 43% from 3 overall last year. I don't knock the move, Mike. Don't get me wrong. I don't knock it at all. It's just you giving up your future, dog. I get it. What you're saying. The oldest person on the team is Corey Joseph, who don't play. The next person after him was Gary Harris, who played some. And then you look at Mo Wagner, 28. But yeah, 22, 26, 25, 21, 26, 24, 22, 21. Jet Howard played for the Orlando Magic, Juwan Howard's son. So that's probably one of the reasons why you can make that move, because you want to continue his development. Matt McClung, who won the dunk contest 3 years in a row, he's on their minor league team. Trevelyan Queen, same thing. Ethan Thompson, minor league team. Franz Wagner, he's on there also, 23. Jamon said he's not worth that package. I agree, but the reason why the picks were made, though, the picks were given up, was because you're asking Memphis to pick up KCP's last 2 years on his salary. So you had to give him something. That's the reason why you gave up all those picks, all those unprotected picks, because you're giving up KCP's $46 million remaining on his contract. That's the reason why you're doing it. Now, if it was 2 firsts and a pick swap in addition, yeah, I could roll with that in a sense. I could do that. But you really asking them to pick up $50 million on 2 years, pretty much, for KCP. So that's what you're really asking. That's what you really ask for. I agree, the package is not worth it, but at the same time, you trying to make a move now. Which brings me to the next question. You just said it, Mike. one year without Tatum, 1 year without, we'll say, the Knicks don't have a head coach, don't have a vision.
Don't know what's going on with Giannis. I got a shot. Hey man, I'm pretty sure Desmond Bane last year averaged, if he didn't average 20, he averaged close to 20 last year. So with that right there being said, that automatically put Desmond Bane probably top 3 or 4 shooting guards in the East. That's automatically put
19.2. 19 points a game.
Yeah. I'm with that move. I got a shot. I got a shot with him. That makes my shooting better. I got a shot.
Yeah, 39% from 3, but 40. I think there's 43% from catch and shoot through. Like, for those that don't know what a catch and shoot 3 is, you pass the ball, I just straight up shoot it. I don't dribble, I don't make a move, I don't do nothing. When I catch it, I just go ahead and shoot it. That's what a catch and shoot 3 is, for those that might not know. 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 1.2 steals. He doesn't foul a lot. He's a solid defender. I mean, you say he's the third best shooting guard in the East?
He's in the top 5, I would say. You gotta remember, Dame Lillard gonna be like, and he could easily put himself as one of, like, as if we doing an all-star team in the East, he could get in that running now. Remember, Dame Lillard gonna be out, Tatum gonna be out. He's got a crack. He's in the same boat like with Tyler Hero, and he's in that boat. He's in that category right there.
Yeah, Tyrese Maxey, but he's the point. Cade's the point. Donovan Mitchell's the 2. I don't know. If I guess he's the 1, he's the 2. I don't know. I can't really tell no more, but I just think we'll talk about the moves that the reports true. The same player being that's Anatole asks, are the reports true about players being afraid of Memphis? Stephen A. Smith made some comments on First Take yesterday, saying that the reason why players have told them that Memphis need to clean up their act as far as safety in that town, because they're the murder capital of the world, of the country by per capita. Folks don't know what per capita is.
Man, let me tell you something about that with what Stephen A. Stephen A. Smith said, yes, Memphis got a lot of murders going on. Them dudes don't live on that side of town, number one. And then number two, you can't tell me that Memphis is just that worse than Chicago, New York, D.C., New Orleans. Nah.
Baltimore.
So that's a Baltimore, that's a bunch of bull. L.A., that's a bunch of bull. I'm not gonna just sit there and just automatically think that Memphis is just that bad. If that's the case, them dudes don't live on that side of town, bro. Them
No.
dudes they don't even. I done been around pro athletes and I know how a lot of that stuff goes. Them dudes don't come on that side of town. The rough part of town, a lot of them dudes do not go. They don't even visit that side. The rough part of town in Memphis is like representing 8-ball MJG, Orange Mountain, South Memphis. Man, that stuff they don't live on that side of town.
Yes, I mean, no, they live in the Arlington and the White Station area. That's what Jamon said. They live in the Arlington and the White Station area.
Them dudes don't, if you look right now, and I guarantee you, Jamon probably can attest, if you look right now, one of the best teams in Memphis is a team called White Station. That's where all the hoopers at. That ain't necessarily the hood of Memphis. White Station would be the equivalent of a school in Georgia, like the outskirts, like Gwinnett County or
Grayson.
Henry County, Clayton County. It's kind of like on the outskirts of Memphis, like the heart of Memphis. But them dudes don't be they don't be like with Young Dolph and all them cats. No, they don't be on that side of town like that. They're just like Atlanta. You think them dudes hang out in y'all think them dudes hang out in East Point and College Park?
Oh no, that my stopping ground. No, they ain't nothing.
Camerton Road, Camp Creek,
Headland and Delow. Headland and Delow.
Gresham Road. Them dudes ain't over there. They ain't hanging out over there, man.
Washington Road.
Them dudes
Old
hanging
Nasty.
out. Exactly.
Old Nasty.
Washington
Road.
Man, them dudes hanging out in Alpharetta. Them dudes hanging out in
Stewart Avenue.
Bucket. No, they ain't no Stewart. I guarantee they ain't no Stewart.
Oh, no.
Now Stewart Avenue, Cleveland Avenue, back in the day when they had to run and shoot, it was the spot. It was the place to be, boy, for real.
Oh, I love go there at 1 o'clock in the morning. You get some good games.
Man, run and shoot, boy. I'm telling you, that used to be the spot. But man, them dudes are hanging out in Alpharetta, Buckhead. They in Kennesaw. They up in Gwinnett. They not hanging out in
Cobb County.
You know, they ain't hanging out there. As a matter of fact, ain't too many, none of these dudes like that hanging out in the hood like that. They don't.
Look at the comment right there. Anatole put on there.
I can't see. Plug, please on Cleveland Avenue. Hey, let's go on to the next topic, man. Anatole Saturday now.
No, we have a story to tell on that. We'll put in the pre-production chat.
Stay out of the Anatole.
Yeah, we.
Hey, boy. Hey, listen. You could go to Stewart Avenue back in the day. You could hoop for about $5. Then you can come out and catch you some action about 40 or 50. Hey, continue, Faye. We go to our true false section. They're gonna wrap it up, dog. Hey, we telling too much our age, man. Telling too many stories, dog. Telling you.
I gotta do my Barry Matt, but long time ago. Long time ago.
Long time ago. For real. Long time ago.
This is probably the most tantalizing topic in television. This is probably one of the most provocative topics that you'll see on TV. True or false? I'm having a series of questions to you, Mike, and you're going to answer true or false.
Yes, sir.
This is a bigger season for Mike Tomlin than Aaron Rodgers. True or false?
I'm gonna say true. I think this season is bigger for Mike Tomlin than Aaron Rodgers. Simply, this can make your career take back off if Aaron Rodgers perform, or you can lose your job. So I think for Aaron Rodgers don't perform well, he gonna either retire or just go to another team. But for Mike Tomlin, who's been in coaching for a while, this is it's bigger for Mike Tomlin.
I'm gonna say Aaron Rodgers because I'm gonna say false because it's true because it's big for both of them. If I'm Mike Tomlin, if I have a losing season, I'm gonna blame management because you did not give me a solid backup plan for Big Ben when you knew he was he was bad. He was bad in the last 2 years. You should have start looking at a backup for him. Somebody, let's see. He retired in 20. Let's see, Kenny Pickett 24, 23, 22. So in 2020, 2021, the Steelers could have really had if they really wanted him. They could have had Jordan Love.
Yeah.
Could have had Jordan Love in 2020. But that's neither here nor there. Michigan will win the Big Ten this year in college football. And Jamal said Tomlin's legacy is cemented. I agree. He need to maybe get to another Super Bowl, but it's to me it's cemented though. Michigan win Big Ten football championship.
That'll be false, sir.
Okay, I guess going Ohio State.
Ohio State or Oregon or maybe Penn State.
Let's see. Oregon has continued to prove who they are. Let's see. That's false. The Celtics should trade Jrue Holiday or Jaylen Brown.
That's false. I don't think they need to. I don't think Boston need to split that up because Tatum is hurt or because they didn't win back to back. They just have to weather the storm this year and try it all again in 26, 27. So false. Say that false.
I'm gonna say true because that second. I'm gonna tell you why. It's not gonna be Jaylen Brown. It's gonna be Jrue Holiday or Porzingis, or it could be Derek White because you're rubbing that second apron so hard it's gonna catch fire. And a lot of folks don't know what the second apron is. So let me break it down real quick what the aprons are. Let's say your regular budget is $150 million, right? You have a level that you can hit. We'll say it's $170 million, $170 million. That's where you can still sign your mid-level exceptions and that type of stuff, still makes the trades. Once you hit that second level, we'll say about $180 million, you cannot sign anybody or make trades unless it's dollar for dollar match. And you can get some vet minimums, but you cannot make any trades unless it's a dollar for dollar match. And where the Celtics and of course the Warriors are at, they're right here. They're way up here. So they're gonna have to make some moves, which is why I think Jrue Holiday or Porzingis probably move. They're not gonna move Jaylen Brown right now because they won a championship and they went to the Eastern Conference Finals 5 times in an 8-year span, Mike, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So you don't break that up. I just think it was just Steph Curry went off in 22. You could have won the championship that year. Steph Curry didn't go off, but that's neither here nor there. One of those got to get traded. Guys got to get traded. And you think about also, Boston has new ownership. They're walking into the door with a $300 million salary, and they got to cut some costs because they don't want to pay $300 million in luxury tax. So you got to make some moves. I think I won't be surprised if Jaylen Brown if you trade Jaylen Brown, you're gonna get a haul for him. You'll take a seat. You'll have your first round pick. You'll get some other picks added on there. That way you can make some moves on the offseason as far as with Holiday and possibly Porzingis, move them around. I think Porzingis being sick with that viral infection, which I don't know why you just sit him down and rest him, don't even bother playing him. That will change the series. Not it was Porzingis being out and Joe Mazzulla's stupid self continually shooting threes. That's what cost them the series against the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
That would cost them, but that's neither there. Cade Klubnick is the best quarterback in college football.
I'm start the season. I'm gonna say true. We lost a lot of quarterbacks this year. I think he's the best returning quarterback. I can't automatically go with Arch Manning. He hadn't played enough. I know most people are gonna say Arch Manning, but he ain't played enough. DJ Lagway was hurt a little bit down there in Florida, but I'm gonna say true.
Drew Aller, the guy from Arizona State, I think he has a real chance to build some stock up for the draft next year. But I would say that's you're on to something. But Arch Manning, to me, I think Arch. I mean, Cade Klubnick didn't really do nothing in one game they played against Texas. So I don't know what Mike, you there? I don't know what he did to the internet. Might be internet. He must be buffering. He should be coming back. On in a second. I don't know what happened to Mike, but man is the most talented. I agree, Jamal. He's the most talented. I think if he has a good year, I think if man has a good year, he's gonna come out. He's gonna come out regardless. So he's probably the first pick. Then you look at Jrue Holiday, the quarterback for Arizona State. Then Klubnick. That's 4 off the top. I'm trying to think of 2 others right now. DeMarcus Sellers, he's just a sophomore, so he's not eligible. The South Carolina quarterback.
Yeah.
I can't think of those are the 4 off the top that I know that gonna have some do some moving and shaking in the draft. So, women's college basketball is better than men's college basketball.
But you answer that one, man. That's
I would say for the fact of consistency, and I would say the last 2 years. Oh man, I love men's college basketball, women's college basketball. I always watched it. As far as the names, it's better because they're there for 3 years, 4 years. As far as the product, it's still the men.
I think women's college basketball is top heavy, meaning you've got 4 to 6 to 8 teams year in and year out. That's gonna be good. It's got a chance to win it all. I think in college basketball, like prime example this year, ain't nobody had Florida winning that championship. Ain't nobody probably had Florida or Houston. Well, I had Houston going to the final. But college basketball, the transfer portal is a little bit more wide open than women's college basketball in a sense. I think women's college basketball is just top heavy with teams.
Jamal said, "No pun intended." With top heavy.
Oh, Jamal.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
Yeah, women's basketball is top heavy. The more parity in the men's, I agree with that because NIL plays a way bigger deal in the men's game because UConn, Florida. Who won it the year before for UConn? I think it was Kansas, correct?
Yeah.
And then who won it the year before Kansas? Don't know. Let me look it up. 2020, the COVID year, that should have been Dayton or Kansas. We have Baylor, Kansas, UConn, and Florida. That was right. Yeah, that Baylor team was awesome. That Baylor team. I mean,
they play some good defense, but
boy, man, you. Yeah, they but Kansas, I don't know that Kansas team that won it didn't have Dick on it. All right, last one. Why you shaking your head? What I say?
Yeah, keep going, Fade. Let's go.
What did I do?
Wrap the show up, Fade. Let's go.
All right, last one. HBCU sports are better overall since Deion Sanders arrived at Jackson State about 5 years ago.
Babe, I can't answer that. I'm gonna let you have that one again.
I'm gonna say false, but it's neither here nor there. I mean, I don't think we had a player for the HBCU drafted this year. Again, I could be
No, we
wrong.
didn't. We didn't. I think especially when it comes to football, HBCU football, we got to figure out a way to get into those FCS playoffs and make some noise. That Celebration Bowl is cool and all, but to get us on a national level, we got to beat some of those South Dakota states and North Dakota states and Sam Houston State. We got to start beating some of them. As long as we play in that Celebration Bowl, we're gonna be just in this bubble.
Yeah, I mean, what Deion did for college sports and college football especially was take away jobs from coaches that were going to be a good coach because you're bringing in like Deshaun Jackson, Mike Vick, Eddie George, who else? Um, ex players that have no coaching experience coming in and coaching. But yeah, Jamon said the NIL transfer portal are slowly killing HBCU sports. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a component of it as well. I mean, if you're not academically eligible to go to Clemson, of course you're gonna go to like Colorado Technical College or something like that, like to JUCO instead of going to HBCU where you can make a name for yourself. Michael Strahan, Greg Lloyd, Tyrone Poole, Pepe Zellner, Rayfield Wright, who is in the Hall of Fame, Shannon Sharp. You know, even though he liked the snow in Colorado. Anyway, uh, uh, anyway, that's our show for this heat. Next Wednesday, we'll have an NBA champion. We're going to talk in the NBA draft and probably some more true and false. And I want to say thank you for watching. We out.
I mean, I have a good one. Rest in peace, Chris. Rest in peace, Dr. Simmons, man.